Well, before we started working with Petite Growth and with Ahmad and his crew, uh, our strategy in terms of going to market and marketing was probably, well, was disjointed. And we tried many things, but nothing was really resonating. And we were spending money, and it wasn't producing results. What
And
would you say?
I think we didn't have clear messaging.
Yeah.
We didn't know exactly who our clients were. We were able to really find that niche that we were wanting to find. And it truly we were able to tell a brand story.
And the interesting thing from our perspective is we're consultants, and we help people hone their brand messaging and their brands all the time. And yet it took working with Ahmad and his team, Outsider, to help us develop the things that we do for our clients.
And what would you say is the value of working with an outsider, given that, again, you've got that understanding, you know what branding is all about? What is that benefit for you?
I think there's value in working with Outsider because, of course, they bring in a third party and unique perspective. But it's not just working with any outsider, it's working with someone who understands the unique challenges, maybe not of your particular business, but understands the unique challenges of consultants, of the either solo or small practitioner operator. And we're a small team. We've got 5 employees today. And so we're not this large organization, but having somebody who truly understands the challenges that are faced by consultants really does help. He brings, and the team brings a great deal of knowledge and experience to the table in terms of things that can apply to our business simply because he's been there, seen it, and done it.
Perfect. And what was the trigger that made you decide to look for somebody to work with?
The trigger in trying to look for somebody, it was really knowing that we have a good product. We've been able to deliver great results in terms of our services and our strategies in the past, and yet we just weren't resonating in the marketplace. We couldn't get there. And so we'd come off of some just stupendous years, incredibly good years, and we're in a trough and looking for somebody who could help us think differently. And we found that. We found that with Boutique Growth.
Perfect. And when you think back to the very beginning, what is it that made you choose to work with Boutique Growth in the 90-day pipeline?
We looked at, I was looking for someone who was not the traditional marketing person. I think at the very least, we had that, we had come to the realization that the marketers we'd worked with in the past, traditional marketing for, getting leads for us and buying leads or getting us in publications, we had tried that, 100 times, and everyone had a new way or new approach, but it didn't pan out in the long run. So we were looking for someone who could help us with the strategy and really helping us hone our message and give us a different approach than to just throw money at the problem. And that's what Ahmad did.
I think too, an expert.
Yeah.
When you watch all of Ahmad's videos, he is the expert. So that's what we needed. We needed the expert.
Yep. I don't have a really, I've got a pretty short attention span when it comes to videos and watching videos. I won't sit and, watch things forever. I think I sat through probably 25 or 30 of Ahmad's videos before I pulled the trigger. And it really interesting because it's reinforced in the 90-day pipeline that, it's about positioning yourself with expertise. And boy, he showed it, because by the time I, actually met or talked with Ahmad on the phone, I felt as though I already knew him. And there was real power in those videos. What he said had direct applicability to our business.
Perfect, thanks. And you alluded to a little bit before when I asked you why you wanted to start working with us. You alluded to the things that you gotten out of the program, but I'm going to ask you that again a bit more directly. So, what's different for you now than before you started with the program?
I think the difference is that we have a clearer message. We have identified through Ahmad's help target audiences that we're now approaching. We've distilled the messages for those target audiences so that we know who it is we're going after. And that's a big thing, because at the end of the day, that saves you time, money, and most of all energy. For a small firm, you hours, and that your time is the most valuable thing. And when you're out there chasing, down lots of different types of people, knowing the one that will be the potential buyer and the best, even more importantly, the best potential buyer for you, is probably a big, well, not probably, it is a huge competitive advantage. And I think for us, that clarity in terms of understanding the buyer, understanding the messages, and then on top of that, having a mechanism in terms of the programs that are outlined in terms of LinkedIn, and using LinkedIn as a primary vehicle for marketing the business, outstanding. It really has completely turned around our marketing efforts at the Franchise Innovation Group.
Perfect, thank you. And are there any particular results that you'd like to tell me about? So someone that you're working with, or a particular, conversation that went a different way because of what you've learned in the program?
I think our sales conversations have definitely improved. We now have a clear roadmap as to how we hold a sales conversation. And I think that was really huge for us, because before we just gave information for free.
Yeah.
Information and advice for free. Now we have a roadmap how to get the yes out of the conversation.
Yeah, and I think we had a process before. We didn't follow it with a lot of discipline. And interesting, because we're a process shop, but we really didn't follow it with a lot of discipline. And this has it really forced us to have a better discipline in terms of the sales conversations. And that's been a big change. Great,
thank you. And if you had to describe the top 3 advantages of working with Ahmad or with the Boutique Growth and the 90-day pipeline, what would those 3 advantages be?
Mindset lessons, number 1.
Yeah.
Every entrepreneur, consultant needs those mindset lessons. And if we could do it every day, it'd be better. But of course, we're not going to. But I think his mindset lessons are spot on every single time, and it really does help.
I think Lisa's right with that. The mindset lesson is probably arguably the most valuable part of the program, and it's not what is part of the sales of the program. Mm-hmm. The mindset lessons, once you get through the mechanics of the 90-day pipeline and focusing on your key messages, on your customers, understanding how to go to market, the real challenge is the motivation, staying motivated, staying on target, and keeping the fire in the belly in terms of the marketing efforts, because it's so easy for operational companies and people to just sort of slip back into operations mode versus sales mode. And I think with Ahmad and the 90-day pipeline, especially with the mindset lessons, it focuses that you're a publisher and that you have to publish content. You have to bring content to market that resonates with people. And you do that in an easy fashion that's easy to digest as far as the consumer. And it requires you to reframe the way you look at yourself as a business owner and the way you prioritize your activities. And I'd say the mindset lesson does that incredibly well. So 1, I would say the mindset lesson. 2, I would say would be that the focusing of message in terms of the 90-day pipeline and the ability to focus the message and really identify the end consumer and tailor messages to that end consumer. That's been a fantastic thing for us and for our company. And thirdly, I would say it's the tactics in terms of how to use LinkedIn, how to use some of the tools out there to grow your business. And ultimately, that's what you want to do, is you want to grow your business and you want to grow them with the right customer.
And can we add a 4?
Absolutely.
The 4 would be all the advice,
Yeah,
all the consultancy. It's the things that you don't see
yeah.
is what to me really resonates.
Yep. So people buy in, and I'd say we're guilty of this. We bought in with looking at this as being a way to get us from A to Z, to get us to a destination. And more importantly, this gives you the ability to achieve that destination, to get to a different destination, to increase or grow your business. But it provides, and specifically Ahmad, through the mindset lessons and consultation, gives the business owner the wherewithal and the frame of mind rather, to be able to to take on the task of marketing the business. And that's a thing that you just don't get with to traditional marketing consultant.
Perfect. You may have already answered this, but what is your favorite part of working together?
I like the sense of community.
Yeah,
You have all these people that are in the same position as you are, and you have a sense of community. And to me, that's very, very important, especially if you're in a consultant or an entrepreneur, that you do have those people to bat ideas off. And it's very important.
yeah. I think Ahmad's created a tribe.
Mhm.
Seth Godin says, that's the ultimate form of success, is building a tribe and a
Right.
committed tribe to your ideals. And he's done it. And we're tribe members, and glad to be tribe members.
Perfect. And I will say, this is not part of the testimonia, but we're exceptionally lucky to have you as part of our tribe. So it's only as good as the people in it. And yeah, we're happy that you're with us.
Well,
Amazing. And maybe 2 more questions. So why, if you were going to recommend to someone else to work with us and to take part in the 90-day pipeline, what would be the reason that you would recommend them working with us?
We would recommend people work with Boutique Growth if you're committed to growing your business, and only if you're committed to growing your business. If you just want tactics and someone else to handle your tactics and steer the ship in terms of marketing, then I don't think Boutique Growth is probably the right fit. But if you're a business owner that's truly committed to grow and committed to growing themselves individually, to take on the challenge of marketing the business or leading a team to market the business, then Boutique Growth, if you're a consultant with any wherewithal, you'll consider Boutique Growth. You really will.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there anything else that would be important to mention or that I didn't ask you?
I think one thing that's important that I think really brings it home to us is the use of stories and the experience base that Ahmad brings to the table. As a consultant, he addresses his own personal challenges in the mindset lessons. He addresses it even in one-on-one consulting. So what you get is advice that's born out of experience, and he never portrays himself as being the end all. Meaning, he never says that his word is God's. But what he does do is he frames things up in a really logical way that allows you to see, from his personal experience, those challenges firsthand. And I think stories always help. And this isn't about sitting through a lecture with Ahmad. This is about real world and hands-on, and he makes it real by sharing his own experiences.